So if you have 15,000 rupees in your hand, which is the best smartphone you can buy? Well, we made a list and it was these 6 phones. Samsung F23, M33, A14, Realme 9i, G62, 6 phones. Now the thing is, 15,000 used to be value for money section in India. But now brands are releasing fewer and fewer phones in this 15,000 price range. So from this list, we can remove Samsung F23, Samsung M33 because A14 is the latest and better version of them. And we can also remove Redmi 11 Prime because Moto G62 has better specs on paper and it comes with Snapdragon 695 and ultra wide angle camera. Now we bought these 3 phones and used each of them for 3 to 4 days so we could tell you practically which phone to buy. Clear cut. Now first of all, build quality wise there is not much to say. All phones in this price range have a plastic back and plastic frame, but I like the looks of Motorola. It looks clean and minimal. Realme has this CD style retro design, dancing lights, kind of attention seeking. And the funny thing is Samsung A14 5G has this textured back. It makes this sound. Cringe. The point is, it looks very similar to the flagship S23 series, so we did like a street interview and a lot of people thought that the phone is way costly, like 20,000-25,000. It's all about the looks, I guess. You get a lot of funky colors like light green, dark red and black in the A14 5G, and since all of these are budget phones, you get a headphone jack on all these phones. You also have a dedicated micro SD card slot on Realme and Samsung. Motorola has this hybrid slot, so either 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM plus micro SD card. Now, these things aside, I found 3 major differences between these phones which you should really know before buying any of these smartphones. Number 1 is display. All 3 phones have a similar size display, but the Moto G62 and Realme 9i 4G have an IPS LCD display and Samsung A14 5G has a PLS LCD display. Now you ask Pratik, what's the difference? Well, in theory, the PLS LCD does not have good viewing angles, but it is brighter than an IPS LCD display. So in real life, while watching videos, Netflix, Realme 9i 4G has the least bright display. Even if you go outdoors, visibility is better on Samsung and Moto phones. But if you look at corners, then the Samsung A14 5G has not so good viewing angles. Plus, both the Realme 9i 4G and Moto G62 have dual stereo speakers, so they are definitely louder. Also, Realme and Samsung have a 90Hz display. Moto G62 5G has a 120Hz display. But if you don't see the display side by side, you won't be able to tell the difference in refresh rates. So in simple words, if you watch a lot of videos and movies, I would not recommend the Realme 9i 4G. Number 2 is performance. All these phones have different processor. Now in simple words, both Exynos 1330 and Snapdragon 695 are 2 times faster than Snapdragon 680. As you can see from Antutu benchmark, both Samsung and Moto phones scored 2 times more. Example, see Apex Legends, you can play at 50 FPS as compared to 40 FPS in Realme 9i, and even while playing games, performance is better in Samsung and Motorola. Now of course, these are budget phones, so you can only do casual gaming for 15-20 minutes, half an hour. And this is what you get in this price range. Number 3 is camera, and all the phones have a 50 megapixel main camera. Like, whoa, same? Well, not exactly. I'll just show you one picture and that is the conclusion of the camera. Like see, Samsung A14 5G takes the best photo, the HDR, skin tone, everything is better. The Moto G62 also has an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera which is good in daylight condition. Rest I noticed, whenever you take portrait mode photos with Moto G62, it makes the photo soft like this one. And the photos and selfies on Realme have slightly weird color and skin tones. Rest you can do 1080p videos on all these phones, but of course, the video quality is meh. Before we get to the conclusion, there's one important thing. Samsung A14 5G is the only phone to have Android 13 in this list. You get Core 1 UI, but you have Samsung Pay Mini, which only supports UPI. There is no secure folder or other flagship One UI features. And as of now, it is the only phone that lets you record calls without announcement. Rest, both Moto and Realme have Android 12, and Realme 9i 4G has ads here and there. Like you go to the app drawer, there are ads. You open File Manager, you have ads. So if I have to give a phone to my parents or someone elder, I'll avoid this. Rest, all the 3 phones have 5000 mAh battery. You get easily 1 day battery life. Only Realme 9i 4G can fast charge at 33 watts, so I tested it and it took 70 minutes to charge 100%. Rest, both Moto and Samsung have 15 watt charging and it takes around 2.5 hours to completely charge. And you don't even get the charger with Samsung A14 5G, so you have to add that 500 money to the phone price. Last very important thing, Realme 9i 4G is a 4G phone. Both Moto G62 and Samsung A14 are 5G phone with 12 and 7 5G bands respectively. Now, finally, I won't recommend the Realme 9i 4G. If you want a 4G phone with an OLED display, get Moto G52. Skip on this one. And if you want a clean Android experience and you're fine with OK camera, get Moto G62 5G. It costs 15,999. You can get some card offers and all of that. But if you want a good camera, 2 years of Android updates and 4 years of security update, but you're fine with this chin, Samsung A14 5G is a good phone in all other aspects. It costs 16,499, but try offline. You can get it for under 14,999 with bank offers. On that note, Bruce Pradesh signing off. See you pretty soon. Pew.